Hi everybody! So people have been wanting me to show you guys my collection of Blu-rays and DVDs, but I thought it'd be fun to, I don't really like those long videos. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of divide them up into sections. Today we're going to look at my Criterion Collection Blu-ray DVDs. Criterion Collection, if you don't know, is an organization, it's a company that makes specialized Blu-rays of classic films. And they add a lot of cool special features. They make sure it's a pristine, HD, beautiful, restored, whatever they need to do, version of said film. So they're really special, and they're usually a little bit more expensive than the typical release. So let's look at what I have for Criterion. First one I have is Watership Down. And this is the beautiful animated film from Martin Rosen that is based on the Richard Adams novel, and about, people think, oh, it's about bunnies. It's not about bunnies. It's about society. I was a political science major in college, and so this is about these bunnies coming into different political systems and their response to those systems, and I really like it. I think it's very good. It's definitely intense. It's probably more for adults than for kids. And this Criterion has lots of great special features, including an interview with Guillermo del Toro, where he talks about the influence that Watership Down had on his career. So, and my other animated Criterion is Fantastic Mr. Fox, and this is awesome. This, of course, directed by Wes Anderson. And it's stop motion. And this is amazing. Look, you have DVD, you have Blu-ray, and then you have all the special features DVD, and you get this whole book as well, full of behind-the-scenes information about the stop motion and how they made it and everything. It's really neat. This is a must for any animation fan to have in their library. Next, I have On the Waterfront. This is, of course, the beautiful film starring Marlon Brando. It's my favorite mafia film. It's directed by Elia Kazan, and it's got Carl Malden, and it's about this former fighter who is going to take on basically the organized crime syndicate at the docks on the waterfront, and it's just really good. Special features and your book full of behind the scenes information. There's a whole documentary all on the life of Elia Kazan, who's kind of a controversial character. It's just really good. Then we get from director Sidney Lumet, this is 12 Angry Men, one of my favorite films as far as character acting, and these 12 men that are trying to decide the fate of this man. They're on a jury, and Henry Fonda is so good as the foreman of the jury, and he gets them to consider the fact they're all ready to convict without really going over the facts, and he gets them to reconsider, and they each go through their own individual sort of journeys of their own prejudices and their own problems that they carry with them in judging this particular man, and it's just excellent. In this, we get the 1955 television version with introductions. We have interviews, lots of other good behind-the-scenes stuff, and so, yeah. Babette's Feast, and this was a foreign Academy Award winner film, and it was from 1987. It's probably less known by a lot of you guys. It's director Gabriel Axel, and it's a beautiful story about a woman who went to live with this group of kind of like Puritans type people that are very simple, and she is this French trained chef, and she wins a lottery, and so she decides that she wants to cook the greatest meal of her life for her friends who have saved her. And it's really just a beautiful story about a person who is allowed to do what they're truly great at, and also just sort of the beautifulness of when somebody is at their best and sharing with people, and just, I love it. It's beautifully filmed, and you of course get lots of good behind the scenes. There's a documentary about Karen Blixen, the storyteller. It's about the author of the movie, and you also get a lot of other good information about the director and everybody else. So next I have Room with a View, And this is beautiful film. Merchant Ivory directing it, who are some of my favorite filmmakers ever. And it is based on the Ian Forster novel, which I love. And it stars Helena Bonham Carter in this, and you have Daniel Day-Lewis in an early role, and he's great. He takes a character that would be a total just foppish nobody, and actually it turns it into a real character you care about. And it's basically about this woman who goes with her aunt to Italy, and she meets this man there, and how it kind of throws her whole life up into uproar. And this has lots of nice special features, interviews, behind the scenes, everything like that. So now I have Grey Gardens. This is a new one I just got, so I actually haven't looked at all the special features quite yet, but this is by the Melees brothers. It is a defining documentary. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go see it. It's really an example of being a fly on the wall of these two women, of mother and daughter, the Edys. One's Big Edie, one's Little Edie, and they are related to Jacqueline Onassis Kennedy, but they have allowed their home to sort of turn into this dilapidated state, and there's raccoons and all this stuff, but they are who they are, and they're authentic and real. And Little Edie, there's this sense of sort of tragedy about her. Like, she has so much energy and she's so happy, but she has alopecia, and so she always is wearing different scarves and different things, and there's just a sense that she had so much potential, and she knows it, and she knows she had that potential, and yet she's ended up kind of being here with her mother all in this dilapidated state. And but it's also very joyous. They're just such beautiful, happy, wonderful people at the same time that it's very sad. It's just a great movie. Great movie, and it looks like some awesome audio commentaries on here. You've got interviews, other stuff, and Little Edie became like a fashion icon with her scarves and other things, and so definitely you've got to see Grey Gardens. I have Modern Times, Charlie Chaplin. This is great, lots of special features, and it is the last time that Charlie Chaplin was the little tramp. It's very funny. He kind of takes on the industrialization and the assembly line and everything else. I have It's a Mad, Mad World, and this was made in 1963, and it's one of my favorite comedies of all time. And look how awesome this is. You've got your book with 2 DVDs and 3 Blu-rays. Full of special features, behind the scenes, commentaries, everything that you could want. It's awesome. Next, I have Safe, and this is a movie that I got introduced last year doing the Hit Me With the Best Shot program blog series, and it's directed by Todd Haynes, who did Carol last year, and he is such an amazing director, and this movie is beautiful, and it is weird, and it is different, and it's hard to figure out, which is what makes it really interesting and good. Julianne Moore plays this woman who is unhappy in her life, unhappy in her marriage. It's kind of suburban unhappiness that Todd Haynes loves to talk about, and a lot of other directors, and she starts getting sick, and she starts getting weak and pale, and there's even she's full of rashes, and she starts realizing that everything, all the chemicals in her life are making her sick. So everything. And there's this one scene where she gets a perm, and it's really, really intense. And so you don't know if she's going nuts or if this is really happening. She ends up on this commune, and it's just fascinating. It's a fascinating movie that you could watch 100 times to get new things out every time, and I think that's why I really liked it. And so this is a great version here on Criterion, audio commentary, new information, short from Todd Haynes. Next, we have another film I found out about from the Hit Me With Your Best Shot series. This is called The Red Shoes. This was made in 1948. It's way underrated. I'd never heard of it until Best Shot, but it is a gorgeous film about this girl who wants to become a ballerina, and there's these red shoes, and it's sort of about her struggle between work and love, and there's a couple different love interests within the story, and is she going to sacrifice her career in order to have love? What's she going to do? And it is heartbreaking and gorgeous, and the dance sequences are probably the best I've ever seen in any movie, including the great Gene Kelly films. So this has great behind the scenes. You've got your interviews, and it has an introduction to the film by Martin Scorsese, and it's got a documentary about the movie. It's just a great DVD. Next, we have It Happened One Night, and this has a great restoration of the film. This is directed by Frank Capra. We've got Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, and they're really amusing stories. She's this socialite who is running away. She's going to try to get married. She doesn't like her father, but Clark Gable plays this reporter, and he decides to kind of follow her, and of course the two spar against each other, have very different personalities, and it's just a classic romantic comedy. It's the way you do it right. You have behind the scenes material in here, you have interviews, and then you have an entire documentary about Frank Capra and his life, which is awesome. Next one is Hoop Dreams. This was made in 1994 by director Steve James and company. Followed these two boys, William Gates and Arthur Agee, for 7 years, profiling their life and their dream of becoming an NBA basketball star. But you don't have to like sports to like this movie. It's just about life. It's about these two boys, and how it's really interesting because it takes this idea of a dream of becoming an NBA player, and it shows sort of the duality of dreams, you know, that it provides hope. It gives something for these boys to lean on, but it also is sort of devastating at the same time, because interviews with all of the stars, you have it has life after Hoop Dreams, so you get to find out what was kind of happening to them, and you have Siskel and Ebert's reviews of Hoop Dreams, which is they were the people that introduced Hoop Dreams to all of us, and the fact that this movie wasn't nominated for Best Documentary is just absolutely absurd, and shows just how clueless the Academy can be at times. It should have won Best Picture that year, in my opinion, and it certainly should have won Best Documentary. It certainly should have been nominated. I mean, come on. This is just a beautiful, wonderful movie. My last one, it's called Time Bandits, and this was directed by Terry Gilliam, and this one I just got, but this is a really, really fun story. He's really tired of his parents, he's really tired of his life, and he escapes to travel with these time-traveling little people, and they go on this adventure through all these different periods of time, and it is sort of hokey, and not everything holds up super well, but that's kind of part of the charm of it. You've got the great Terry Gilliam visuals. It's just really creative and really different and charming and funny and sweet and exciting and everything that you could want in a film. This is a film that you can enjoy with your entire family, and unlike a lot of other Terry Gilliam films, and it has a lot of good special features. And you've got a new restoration, as all of these Criterions have. There are behind the scenes documentaries, information about the production design, which is still like just great. The whole look of it, the whole look of the costumes, the whole look of everything is just so much fun. And you have interviews with Terry Gilliam and all of that. So my Criterion Collection. So let me know what you think of these Blu-rays. Are any of them in your library? Are any of the ones you've seen? What do you think? What Criterions do you have? And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye.